This is an open video to Christiano Films, and I'm bringing it to your attention because you have literally threatened me at this point and threatened to sue me. I have filed my counterclaim and you have 10 days with which to respond with your intent to do so, otherwise the video will be returned to YouTube within 14 days of that claim being made. It is unfortunate that we have come to this point. I have been nothing but polite and forward with you, even to the point of even offering to help you locate anybody who has uploaded your films without your permission. Now, whilst I will concede the very possibility that someone in your group may have copyright to this film, you have yet to provide me with such documentation. So far, all I have received is a communication from one of the writers of the films, not the director of the films. I contacted the Billy Graham group by telephone yesterday and they told me that they had never heard of Christiano Films. Unfortunately, I did deal with a secretary who probably didn't know what she was talking about, so I will concede that possibility. However, the review itself and the footage used does fall under the fair use clause, and I am entitled to have the video run as it is. I have not tried to profit from your work, and I have certainly not, as you claimed in your email, distributed the film in any way. In fact, I vehemently speak out against copyright on my channel as often as I can, and I am vehemently against piracy of any kind. As I told you, I already bought the films when I lived in England from the CLC in Sheffield, where I spent the majority of my... What upsets me at this point is that I am not the only person that you have filed DMCAs against with regards to use of footage. I still require to see documentation that Christiano Films, the people who have filed this DMCA, have any copyright to the film whatsoever. This has not yet been satisfied. An email from the writer is not any documentation that the copyright is in Christiano Films' name. Also, at the same time, even if it was, I again repeat, fair use. I have not in any way disparaged your company. I have not in any way disparaged the film in question. In fact, at the very end, I actually recommended that people watch it as a curiosity thing, and I didn't pan it as the worst film ever, unlike my compatriot Christian Films reviews, who has since then changed his mind after seeing even worse Christian movies. You have also implied that bad reviews, negative reviews, anybody that mocks you, parodies you, or gives you a disparaging review is not protected under fair use. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Again, I refer you to the documentation I gave you with regards to DMCA, the usage of the DMCA, and the usage of fair use. I am not in this to fight you in any way, nor am I in this to disparage you. Unfortunately, as you said yourself, you have better things to do with your time, and all this drama is rather pointless. You say to me that you are in this to enrich lives. However, you have not displayed this in any way. All I see is an attempt to destroy mine. I have treated you in absolute fairness and communicated with you with the utmost honesty and respect, and yet all you have done in return is threaten me and try to destroy my channel. As a result, this too is my livelihood and my job, and if you wish to destroy that in any way, then by all means be rest assured that I shall countersue for any loss of earnings that I make as a result. However, I can assure you that the YouTube community will be very likely watching this case very closely. It is not in my better interest to disparage any film company or to give them a bad reputation. It is certainly not in my interest to bring your company down in any way. In fact, the very reason that I make reviews is so that your company can actually improve on the products that it actually releases. Like I said, you claim that it is your intent to enrich lives. By doing so, then perhaps you should listen more to your critics than disparage them or attack them in any way. This is for your benefit as well as for the benefit of your audience. You have to understand that people who actually pay to watch your films are very unlikely to get their money back. And if they have wasted their money on a poor product, then at the end of the day one can almost say that you have literally gypped them out of their money. This is only a personal opinion and certainly not a matter of fact, but I can actually say that if I was to buy a bad movie because I didn't know what the ultimate critics had to say about it or what the local public had to say about it because of public censorship, then I myself would definitely feel as if I was conned out of my money. That is my own personal opinion and is not necessarily shared by anybody else in the YouTube community. Neither should I suggest that anybody in the YouTube community makes such an assumption seriously. It is my hope that this will come to a satisfactory end for everybody's sake. Unfortunately, I get the impression from your communication with me that it is not your intent to deal with this in a civilized or mature manner, but to try and silence and censor me in any way that you can. I have filed my DMCA notice, which gives you 10 days in order to respond. If no response is made, then YouTube is required to return the video up within 14 days of that time. I wish you the best of luck in your company, and I hope that you will take your critics extremely seriously, especially those on both sides of the fence in the atheist community and the Christian community. You have the potential to create something different, to create something imaginative, and not to go down the usual line that is usually painted with the result of Christian movies. I personally believe that there are some extremely good Christian movies out there. It is unfortunately tarnished with a lot of bad Christian movies that needs to be improved. I feel exactly the same way about Hollywood at this particular moment in time because of the way they treat certain genres like Transformers and continuously remake old films because they have absolutely no imagination. I have yet to be sued by anybody from Hollywood for giving that opinion. Creativity is an important art, and film is an extremely important part of that process. And you have the opportunity to create something unique and imaginative that doesn't go against your beliefs and could quite possibly spread your message even further than it is. I'm afraid that films like God's Not Dead does not help the case in any way. I wish you luck in your future endeavours, but as I said before, if you wish to press this matter further, you have 10 days in which to respond, and I look forward to dealing with you in the future. Until next time, ciao.